If you or someone you know has diabetes, you may have built up an extra supply of test strips and lancets. That's where we come in. We'll buy the supplies that you don't need and resell them to those in need to prevent waste. Help us make diabetes management more affordable. Visit us at teststripswithaz.com.
All right, we have one half of the main event for Friday night's LFA 72 card. He will take on Chris Harris. Happy to be joined by the DemiGod himself, Daniel Madrid. Daniel, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's fight week, right? So
yes,
how did things? You seem very relaxed right now. You said you were chilling. How did things change for you when it's officially fight week, especially from like the mental sides of things? Because I would assume, yeah, you want to think about the fight, you want to get excited for the fight, but you don't want to overthink things. How does Daniel Madrid do the fight week build up?
Honestly, man, it's like this week it's like finally get to relax a little bit. You know, it's been a hard 7 weeks with this training camp. I've been lucky that I haven't had any injuries besides a couple scrapes and bruises here and there. But this week, it's right now, it's just getting mentally ready for the weight cut. That's always the funnest part of this game. And then once that's done with, man, it's just like, let's go to work. I'm ready. Come on.
You have been on some kind of a tear recently. You had a couple losses to Alex Nicholson and Ian Heinisch, but since then, 3 fights, a little over 8 minutes of cage time, 3 submission finishes. After the Heinisch fight, did something just click for you? Like, how would you describe these last 3 fights?
The Heinisch fight was a blessing. And in the sense that, you know, with success and going forward, like, you need those losses, you need those failures to push you. And it's without the loss of enthusiasm is what will continue you to push forward and strive for greatness, right? And with that fight, it showed me a lot of things that I was doing wrong. And my coaches noticed it, I noticed it. So we went back in, hit the drawing board, went back to work, made the corrections. And I mean, my last 3 fights have definitely shown all of the things that I've corrected. And I look forward to continuing to be better every time.
What would you say was the biggest change you've had to make since the Heinisch fight?
Keeping my fucking hands up. Honest to God. I've had such a bad habit in my past, you know, playing really low hands. And it takes as one. I used to think I had a grand chin, but, you know, that's been proven otherwise. So now it's just protecting my assets, you know. Like, I'm a smart fighter. I can be that fighter. I just, mentally, I needed to be there. I finally feel like I'm here now.
Did you have to do anything kind of crazy? Like, if you watch, like, the Mickey Ward boxing movie, he had you know, kind of tape his body up so his hand would stay up. Like, you see those, like, fundamental things to kind of prepare for that. I mean, because when you're in a fight, you oftentimes don't even think about that. You're just like, all right, I'm going to do what I always do, and you don't even notice that. Did you have to do anything in particular to kind of go back to fundamentals to correct that?
No, I was lucky, man. My boxing coach, Tommy Martin, he spent a lot of time with me, and it was more of just repetitiveness, right? It was just anytime that my hands went down, it's like a smidge, like he was on me, like yelling at me, getting on me. Same with my other coach, Mario Velez, and then my crew, Sandro Lapara. They were all on me the whole time. Like, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. And after a while, I just got tired of hearing it. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to do it.
And now you get Chris Harris, 11-3 overall in his professional career. You know, like yourself, he's been in there with some tough guys, some guys who are in the UFC now, and he's had some tough fights on his resume. Has Chris been a guy you've been paying attention to prior to getting the booking of this fight?
You know, I remember seeing him fight Brendan Allen for LFA, but before that, I hadn't really noticed him. He wasn't on my radar. So when my manager brought it to my attention, and once I did my research on him, I was just gun ho about it. He's definitely a really good fighter. And just like you said, he has fought some names, just like I fought some names. And I think it's one of those things that it can do a really good thing for my career right now.
When you look at the matchup from a stylistic perspective, how do you like it? Like, how does his style mesh up with yours to help you be as successful as possible in the cage on Friday?
And I think it's going to be a really good fight. I think you have 2 exciting fighters going in. I think I have the edge on the ground. I think we're fairly even on the stand-up. I think we both bring a different style that, you know, it's rarely seen. He's more of an aggressive fighter, forward pusher, where I play more of a counter fighter. But, you know, it's definitely a really good matchup. And, I'm excited to see how it goes.
You've been a guy who's been in the sport competing professionally for, doing my research, about 13 years now. You bring a lot of big fight experience to the cage on Friday. And Chris has been around for a little bit as well, but I feel like you'll have the advantage in the experience aspect. You know, Chris is talented, he's got a lot of potential, and he wouldn't be in this fight and in this spot with you if he didn't have those intangibles. So is it fair for me to say that with what you've been a part of in the fight game to this point, there's probably not much he'll be able to bring to Friday night's fight that you haven't seen before?
No, I don't think it is fair. I think it's like you said, man. He's been in some big events. He's fought some big names. Granted, I've been in the game longer than he has. But I mean, everyone has a different level of experience and what they retain. So I mean, I'm excited. It's a big challenge for me. I'm not looking past him by any means, and I'm just. Like, honestly, I keep saying it, man, but I'm ready for Friday to be here. Like I'm eager for it.
The hard part, the long days of the gym, the grueling training sessions, getting ready for this fight, they're pretty much behind you now. It's about getting things sharpened, dotting the I's, crossing the T's at this point, and then you make the walk, and then you fight Chris Harris. How do you see this thing playing out on Friday night in Phoenix when you close your eyes and visualize it all?
Without giving too much away, because I don't want to spoil anything, and I don't want to give out predictions that may or may not come true, but, you know, I think once you see us locked in that cage, I think it's going to be just nonstop action from the time they ring the bell to the time that the fight ends. Where this fight's going to land, I honestly don't know. I never really go into a fight with a game plan. I've always followed the Mike Tyson principle of, you know, everyone has a game plan until they get hit. So I like to play it as it goes. But I can tell you we are well versed in every aspect of where this fight can possibly go. And, man, I'm just excited.
This is going to be your first main event for LFA, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we've seen, you know, over the years, the relationship, the sort of history be with the LFAs and organizations like the UFC. Do you think about that stuff at all? Do you think like, oh man, they could be watching, like they could be paying attention here, or do you just put that stuff in the back burner and just focus on the task at hand?
That task at hand, man. It doesn't even cross my mind at all. I'll let my coaches and I'll let my wife worry about that. You know, right now, my job is to fight Chris Harris and to come out with my hands raised. That's all it's expected of me.
Do you feel like you're close to that point, considering the path you've taken, or again, just not even thinking about it?
I do my best to try not to think about it, but I would like to think that I'm somewhat close. But again, I'm not focused on it. I mean, I would love it if I could get there after this fight, but again, right now, LFA is my home. Chris Harris is my opponent, so that's what I'm focused on.
Well said. Great way to think about it heading into this fight on Friday night. Daniel Madrid joining us on the program as he prepares to headline LFA 72 in Phoenix, Arizona. You can catch all the action if you can't make it to Phoenix on Access TV. Before we let you go, Daniel, let everyone know where they can find and follow you along on this journey via social media. Any shout-outs, anything else you want to get off your chest, the floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. You can always follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Daniel Madrid MMA, or even my fighter profile on Instagram, Daniel DemiGod Madrid. Facebook, just search in Daniel Madrid and look for the fighter. That's pretty much all you need, man. Other than that, I'd like to thank all my coaches, my wife, who's my biggest supporter, my family, my kids, my gym, Legion MMA, my affiliate, J Pages Jiu-Jitsu. We're ready to go to battle, man. I hope you guys tune in.
You got me all fired up, Daniel. Great stuff. All the best to you this week, and we'll see you on the fight on Friday.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.